welcome to another lesson from SoFlex Math. Today we're going to be doing converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. And similar to the mixed numbers to improper fractions, we're going to use some diagrams or some cubes to kind of show how that works, as well as the algorithm or the first step that you need to do. So if you remember from me talking earlier about unit fractions, that this right here, 11 over 4, so we have our numerator 11, denominator 4. Remember, an improper fraction has a larger number at the top. Remember how we talked, though, how this is really just a division sign. So we're really just dividing 11 divided by 4, or 7 divided by 3. So it's really just a division problem, pretty simple. But we're going to show you how you can draw a picture to also represent it. So if you look at this picture here, I have 11 kind of breaks in it, or 11 cubes. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to divide it by 4s. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time I get to 4, it's like 4 over 4. Or I'm going to call that a whole. And then I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so that's 4 out of 4, which is going to be my second whole. So we now have 2 wholes. And then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 until I run out. And that would be 3 out of 4. So to convert 11 fourths, we just count up how many holes we have. So in this case, we have 2 holes, 1, 2, and 3 fourths. So that is the answer of 11 fourths is equal to 2 and 3 fourths if we were just talking about the diagram. Okay, 11 divided by 4, same way. If you did that, so I'll do that down here, 11 divided by 4, we'd have the answer of 2, subtract, remainder 3. So take a look, our whole number is our whole number, our remainder is our numerator, and our divisor is our denominator. So 2 and 3 fourths. Okay, let's look at a second example. 7 thirds, or 7 divided by 3. So this time I'm going to count by 3s. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 over 3, or 1 whole. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 out of 3, or our second whole. And then 1 out of 3, 1/3. So the answer to this, 7 thirds, is equal to 2 and 1/3. All right, mathematically, 3 into 7, 7 divided by 3, so we'd say same way, 2, remainder 1. So once again, the 2 remainder 1 is like 2 and 1 out of 3. So it's still the same answer, 2 and 1/3. All right, let's look at a couple more examples. So these next two are a little bit larger numbers, so I don't necessarily want to draw a big row of 25 squares or a big row of 57 squares. So let's just look at how we do it mathematically. So for this one, 25 divided by 7, and we can reset it up. We can just write it like a division problem if you can't do it mentally in your head. But I'm going to say, how many 7s go into 25? 3. Subtract, bring down, 3 with a remainder of 4. So how do I turn that answer, 3 remainder 4, into a mixed number? Well, we know mixed numbers have wholes and fractions, so the whole is pretty easy. We have 3 wholes. So we're going to write that as our big 3 as our answer. Okay, our denominator always stays the same, our denominator or divisor. So think of the 2 D words, denominator, divisor. So that's going to stay down there. And then our remainder is what's part of the whole. The numerator is the part of the whole. So we can write that as 4/7. So 3, 4, and 7. So 3 and 4/7 is that answer. All right. So let's take a look at our second example here. So this time we have 57 over 9. All right. So in this case, we're going to have 9 going into 57. Same thing, mental math, hopefully. You're going to say 6, remainder 3. Why? Because 6 times 9 is the 54, and we subtract and get remainder 3. Same thing. Whole number answer is 6. Denominator or divisor stays at the bottom. And then our numerator is the parts. Okay, and remember what we talked about in our first lesson, and we're going to talk about this as we move forward too. We always have to have in simplest forms, which means we're going to have to divide the top and bottom by the same number, like we did those equivalent fractions. So I can divide each of those by a 3. So my whole number stays the same, but 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. All right, we're going to be talking a lot more about simplifying a little bit later. So if you didn't understand that simplifying that I just did, don't worry, don't panic. We're definitely going to come back to that in an upcoming lesson. So if you could get 6 3/9 for right now, that's perfect. If you understood how I simplified it, even better. Okay, we got 2 more examples to look at. All right, so we have 26/5. Okay, so let's see if we can do this in our head. So how many 5s can go into 26? 5. All right, denominator stays the same. So now that we have those parts, 5 times 5 is 25. How many more? Count up to get to 26. 1 more. Because remember, if we were going the other way, 5 times 5 is 25 plus 1 is 26/5. So it's good to see the pictures as we started, then the division problem, and now we're moving on, hopefully, to mental math. All right, so this one, I'm going to write the 4 down there right away because I know the denominator or our divisor is going to stay the same. So how many 4s can go into 19? So that's going to be my whole number answer. 5 is too many, so let's try a 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 19 minus 16 is 3. So 4 3/4 is the equivalent amount. So before we wrap this up, just realize that as we do these, we have an equal sign for all of our problems. That means that you can write 26/5, or you can write 5 1/5, and that's the exact same amount. So either way that you could draw a picture of how we represented the mixed number, 5 1/5 with cubes, or if I drew 26 cubes in a row and broke them up into 5s, they're both the same amount. Now, I will say, as we mentioned the word simplify, if you're taking tests or when you're doing problems and you're getting answers, the mixed number is the simplified form. So sometimes they'll mark it wrong. So if you do a problem and you get your answer of 26/5 and you don't change it to a mixed number, they might mark it wrong. So you might want to always simplify your work. So 5 1/5 or a mixed number is considered the simplified form. Okay, good luck on your assignment today, and thank you for watching SoFlex Math.